The scene begins with Lloyd preparing to test his luck with the random summon game. Looking around to make sure no one is watching, he excitedly commands, "Okay, so, there's no one around, right? Show me the summoning game. Start." As he initiates the summon, a magic circle suddenly appears. Surprised by the spectacle, Lloyd exclaims, "Whoa, is that a magic circle? This is so over the top. And on top of that, it's so tiny, and it's so freaking noisy." However, despite the dramatic appearance, nothing substantial seems to emerge from the magic circle. Lloyd, disappointed, assumes it's a failure, so it's a dud. Unexpectedly, a small, cheerful creature introduces itself as Hamster. Hamster, Lloyd, confused and underwhelmed, mocks the tiny creature. "What? You're not a dud? You can help me? Like what? Shoot acorns. Pew pew. I don't need it." However, Hamster, determined to prove itself useful, insists, "Pinidong." Lloyd, sarcastic as always, challenges Hamster. "Oh no? Then show me what you can do." The hamster begins eating something, and the system explains its abilities. Hamster is an adorable hamster. Please give Hamster lots of love. Feed Hamster one of the enclosed sunflower seeds, and its size will change. Lloyd, now intrigued, learns that Hamster can grow significantly larger for 12 hours. It grows to gigantic proportions, effective for a maximum of 12 hours, then it shrinks back. The system continues. Feed this to Hamster before the 12-hour limit is up. One set of the 2 colors of sunflower seeds is 1 RP. Lloyd, curious, asks, "Just how big do you get? Like people size?" Hamster excitedly responds, "Hamster." Lloyd, thinking strategically, realizes that a giant hamster with tunneling abilities could be incredibly useful for his construction work. Hamsters are good at tunneling, so if Hamster can get to be as big as a human, that would be quite helpful. Suddenly, Hamster begins growing at an alarming rate, far surpassing Lloyd's expectations. Lloyd watches in shock as the creature becomes massive. "What is that? 15 feet? No, it's over 30 feet high." Lloyd, impressed by the sheer size, notes Hamster's cocky demeanor. He looks so smug, so cocky. The system lists Hamster's abilities. Digging level 1, packing dirt level 2, cheek pockets level 1. Realizing he has struck gold, Lloyd celebrates. "Jackpot! I've got my heavy equipment." However, Lloyd becomes worried about the attention a massive hamster might draw. "But if someone sees me with this huge thing all of a sudden, they'll get very suspicious." Lloyd, always quick to devise a solution, comes up with a clever plan to avoid suspicion. "I'll just carry a book on summoning with me. And if anyone asks, I'll be like, 'Oh, I'm a summoning master.' Problem solved. Geez, why am I so smart? I can't believe it." The scene shifts to Lord Frontera soldiers, who are under Lloyd's command. Lloyd, now full of energy, tries to instill some discipline into the group. "Repeat after me. Safety first." The soldiers, confused and hesitant, weakly respond, "Safety first?" Frustrated by their lack of enthusiasm, Lloyd reflects, "This is so frustrating. They're just like soldiers who get paid to do nothing." He starts to question why his father, Baron Frontera, hasn't dismissed these soldiers, given the family's financial struggles. The Baron has a ton of debt. Why hasn't he gotten rid of them? Well, thanks to him, I now have free labor. Smiling, Lloyd realizes the potential of putting the soldiers to work. It's a good thing I can put them to work. Determined to whip the soldiers into shape, Lloyd addresses them once again with authority. "Listen up, you are all soldiers, and this here is the army." The soldiers, still confused, look around in uncertainty. Lloyd repeats himself, making it clear that their purpose is to work. And what is the point of an army? It's to do work. As the soldiers struggle to understand Lloyd's unconventional methods, he reflects on his own time in the military. "When I was in the army, I spent more time digging holes and pulling weeds." Lloyd addressing the soldiers, standing before a massive pile of clay that Hamster dug up overnight. Lloyd, as usual, exaggerates the effort involved. "Dio, you see that pile of clay over there? That is the clay I spent all last night digging up." Lloyd's internal thoughts reveal the truth. It's what Padong dug up in only 30 minutes, but still, with enthusiasm, Lloyd rallies the soldiers, laying out his grand plan. We are about to break ground on our estate's renaissance. I'm talking about the Ondal construction business for the people. He quickly gives them orders to move the clay. To do that, I need all of you to move that clay to the construction site. Suddenly, Newman, a senior knight in Lord Frontera's barony, steps forward to challenge Lloyd's authority. Master Lloyd, what are you asking my men here to do? Lloyd's thoughts immediately recognize the confrontation. Senior knight in Lord Frontera's barony. Newman, I expected him to confront me like this, too. Lloyd reflects on the hierarchy of knights within the barony. In this land, there are 3 knights. We have Newman, the man here now. Under him is Byron. And then we have the protagonist of the novel, Javier Azrahan. Lloyd recalls a key plot point from the novel. At the start of the book, when the estate falls into ruin, Javier and Byron remain loyal until the very end. But our friend here is the first to betray the Baron and run. Newman, according to Lloyd's memory, is responsible for selling information to con men, leaving the Baron with a crippling debt. Lloyd's thoughts reveal his disdain for Newman. That's because Newman sells information on the Baron to the con men and leaves him with a huge debt. It won't do for this man to be the land's foremost knight. Newman, outraged by Lloyd's orders to his men, challenges him. You have ordered these honorable men to cover themselves in dirt. As their commander, I won't tolerate this. Lloyd, unfazed and mocking, taunts Newman. You're unhappy because I'm close to making money that could pay OFF the debts. I have father's permission. Newman, seething with anger, continues to question Lloyd's intentions. I don't know how you fooled his lordship, but may I remind you of your prior conduct. Young master, I can think of no other reason for you to use my men other than for personal gains. Am I wrong? Lloyd, keeping his sarcastic tone, responds, that sounds right. If you want to be down. As Newman struggles to contain his anger, Lloyd watches him closely, thinking, look at this fragile little man break down. If he ever played an online game, his fingers would be flying across the keyboard. Seeing an opportunity to provoke Newman further, Lloyd presses him even more. Now let's press his buttons. Newman, furious at Lloyd's insult, snaps, You scoundrel! Did you just insult a knight's honor? Newman's thoughts betray his internal rage. You're nothing but the son of a poor, soon-ruined baron. Lloyd, ever the provocateur, smirks as he escalates the situation. ch4? What was that? Let's forget about ranks and fight this out. Let's do this thing. A duel. Unable to hold back any longer, Newman accepts Lloyd's challenge, fully intent on making him regret his words. I'll make you regret it, scoundrel.